computer. Let's go. Let's go inside. Okay, I'm sharing the screen. So we have to 3 o'clock. We came to this part, okay, verse number 8 in chapter 2. What we're doing now is we starting to dive inside to the other side of the creation. In chapter number 1, we saw the creation. We saw that God is using, the Bible is using, okay, the word all the time, 32 times, the word Elohim, or what we call God. In English, it's a bit problem with translations, okay? The word Elohim in the numeric number is the same word like nature. And here we are, God is creating the nature, and the man is coming at the end of this creation, and he's not in the center of this creation. In chapter 2, we see a different name of God, the word name in Hebrew. And I remember that I owe you an email back about with this issue of the name. Believe me, I remember that. The word name in Hebrew is also the purpose, okay? What word name and purpose are the same words. So on the second chapter of Genesis, where we're starting to explain the purpose of this creation. So here we have a different appearance of God, different purpose in God. And every time we'll see not only the word God, but also the word Yud Kei Vav Kei. Yud Kei Vav Kei is what created the nature. And here, okay, all the time we'll see. And again, in English, it's a bit weird, all the translations. It's not exactly the word Yud Kei Vav Kei. It's like, it's very hard to explain. Okay, in English, everything here, and I don't want to go inside too much to this explanation of the words. Just we will know. Let's remember that the word Yud Kei Vav Kei, there is also a very big cult in the Christian world that they call themselves Edei Yehovah. I'm sure that you've heard about this. Okay, so it's coming from this word, from this name. Okay, it's not something that we agree to say, or we have no permission to say this word exactly. But this word is, something above nature that created the nature. Okay, it's the main name of God. But here in this chapter, in chapter 2, we will see all the time those two names coming together. And we explained, we showed that. First of all, the central side of chapter 2 is the human here. Straight ahead, when we're starting to describe again the creation in chapter 2, we're starting with that nothing here is managing to grow up to appear in front of us, and because those two names didn't brought rain to the world, because there were no men here to to pray and to ask from God all the things. So we have here now suddenly that man is very important, very essential in this creation, this side of the creation. The next that is coming, we spoke about that God created man, okay, with a living soul. We spoke about this, we explained this. And now we came to verse number 8, where we will learn a bit on the structure of the world. Okay, so please read verse number 8, and we'll try to explain it, and then we'll continue on to the next verses. Please, Brian.
Verse 8. And the Lord God planted a garden in Eden from the east, and he placed there the man whom he had formed.
So we have here the Eden. We all know the Garden of Eden. We all know this mysterious, this concept, this idea. But let's try to understand those words in the Hebrew language. In the Hebrew language, it's two contradicting words. Garden is one word, and the Eden is another word. The garden in Hebrew, it's almost the same word. Okay, gan, garden. Okay, we in the English we're putting this this thing inside, okay? Or maybe this one. In Hebrew, it's gan, G-A-N. In English, it's garden. You're putting another thing inside. The word garden is coming in the Hebrew from something that is being protected. Gan, Zemilashon, it's from the word hagana, protected. So we're speaking about something that is protected, okay? God is planting something protected. Maybe it's have boundaries. It's not something that all the animals can come inside, okay? Only, who God decides that will be inside there, he will be inside there. It's something protected. The word Eden, let's go a bit more, okay, before the word Eden, okay, from the east. The east in Hebrew is a very unique word, okay. It's not only the east, the east, the west, not only from this side. The word east in Hebrew is coming from the word kedem. Kedem is one word that have two main meanings. One meaning is far from the history, and the other meaning is very far in the future. Two different words, the one word with two different explanations. Kadem is from Mimi Kodem, very, very far, long time ago. And Kedem is also Kadima, very, very far, that it will be in another, I will say, next week. Okay, so we have here some sort of a protected thing, the garden, that is being put in the Eden. We didn't explain this word yet. What exactly is Eden? And it's mainly was once, and it will be in the end of the world. We're speaking about the Garden of Eden that was once, okay, and will become again once one day, but not today. The word Eden, I will say it like that. I won't explain too much insight to the word Eden because we need to. It's related with the wine and a lot of other things. Oh, the wine is going. Oh, you know what? Let me explain something. What is the wine? How do we prepare wine? Maybe Bart knows because he's living not far from France. Bart also knows because he's drinking very good wine in Australia. Okay, everybody, Jack also Jacob. Wine, we're taking the grapefruits, we're putting it inside some sort of a jar, usually in a glass jar or something like that, and we're leaving it there for a few months. And what is happening? The grapes is being separated from two different entities inside it. Some of them, we call this in Hebrew, shmarim, and it's going downwards. And the other side is going up, and this is a wine. Now, in our world, we have no possibility of drinking the wine. The part of the wine is a very good one, but the other part, I don't know how to call it in English, shmarim. We can find it if you want in the internet in a moment. The other part is not something that you can eat or you can use. So in our world, all that you have grapes, all that you have wine. You can't have both. Okay? If you will eat the grapes, you won't drink the wine. If you will drink the wine, you won't eat the grapes because the grapes, to become a wine, is being separated from two parts inside the grapes. In the Eden, we have both. Okay? We are, in some sort of a way, it's a place where we have the grapes and the wine with the other side of the grapes together in one place. So we have here something that is very protected, very future thing that we can have everything inside, not like today that we need to separate things. We have all that, not here. This is in our world, we don't have the unity of everything. Sometimes we need to say that we are living this and we're eating that, or the other side, okay? In the Garden of Eden, in this protected place, we have everything. It's the roots of everything. And it was in the beginning of history, in this chapter 2 and 3, and then we lost it, and it will become again at the end of history, okay? So this is the wording, Garden of Eden from the east. In Hebrew, Gan Be'eden Mikedem. Mikedem, that will become again, okay? Gan Be'eden is garden, garden. Be'eden, it's the place where you have everything, okay? You're not putting aside nothing, okay? And this, it was in the beginning of history, and it will become again at the end of history, okay? And he placed there the man who he has formed. This is, he placed it, we're speaking still in the 2 first chapters, so this is where he placed it. Everything is fine here till now? Hi, Jacob. I'm sorry for the lateness, for my lateness. Okay, everything is fine till now? Okay? Okay, let's continue on. Now we have, till now, we just explained a bit that we have, I will say it like that. In our world, we have separation of things. Sometimes we need to eat the grapes. Sometimes we need to eat the wine. We can't have both of them together. So this in this world, but in the world of Eden, we have them together. We can use them together. We can live with them together. In the Garden of Eden, it's a protected place that was before the world started and at the end of the world. It's also the place of the souls, but this is not the place of this world. The soul is not the place, when the soul is getting separated from the body. So it's up there. It's not here. It's in the Garden of Eden, but there. Okay, and in the chapter 2, God also placed men in this place. Let's continue on to verse number 9. Okay, please.
Verse 9, and the Lord God caused to sprout from the ground every tree pleasant to see and good to eat, and the tree of life in the midst of the garden, and the tree of knowledge of good and evil.
Maybe I will add another one sentence about verse number 8. I will say it like that before we'll go inside more profound to verse number 9. In verse number 8, we said that there's a protected place that men can stay there. This protected place, we need to realize it. If we are getting too much close to the sun, to the fire, we're getting burned. If we're getting too much far from the fire, we're getting cold. We also die. So we need to be in a protected space. This is what God created. He created a protected space that men can be there. Okay? Now let's go to verse number 9. Verse number 9, my question, I have a very simple question. Please read it again with yourself. Tell me, how many kinds of trees do we have in verse number 9? It's not a very hard quiz. Just to read it, to realize how many kinds of trees do we have in verse number 9?
All kinds of trees. Because it says every tree pleasant to see. So that's every tree. And then we have the tree of life and the tree of knowledge. That's 3.
3 kinds of trees. Very nice. Everybody agrees? Everybody agrees with this? Okay, so we have 3 kinds of trees. Let's understand the word tree in Hebrew. What is the word tree in Hebrew? This is how you call it. A tree is, usually in English what we're planting. But in Hebrew, the word tree is, we need to know how it's working, male and female, the words in Hebrew, okay? In Hebrew, you have a male word, and then you're adding 1 letter, and it's becoming a female word, okay? To give an example, I will give an example, and then we'll go back, okay? The continuous of this chapter, we have that God caused a deep sleep upon the man, so he will create the woman from him. And then we have here, please read, and when he woke up, he saw that there's also a woman next to him. And please read this part, the sentence of the verse. Right.
This one shall be called Isha, woman, because this one was taken from Ish, man.
Okay, so let's see it in the Hebrew side. Isha, Ish, it's almost the same word. So we have here Isha, and we have here Ish. What is the difference between the male Ish and the female Isha? Is that for the female, we're just adding one letter, the Hey, okay, the fifth letter that we have, A, B, C, D, E. E is H, Hey, okay, the A, Hey that we adding. So usually we have male, it's the word, and if you're adding this letter to the male, you're getting female. It's the same. It's something very similar that I've noticed in the Lithuania, that the husband is getting, the family name, and the women's side is getting another 3 letters that it will be the women family name. It's a different one, but this is how you know if the woman is married or not married. Okay, so here it's the same thing, just adding. So let's go back to the word it's. God is forming 3 kinds of trees in this world. But what exactly is this tree in Hebrew? If you taking this word etz and you adding to it the female side, it's becoming an advice. Etzah. Okay? I have an advice. I have something to learn from this event, from this issue, from this occasion, whatever it is. And so we have an advice in the female word, and we have etz, an advice in the male word. God basically planted in this world a lot of wisdom and ideas. 3 kinds of wisdom and ideas. Okay? And in all of those wisdom and ideas that there are in this world, God basically is asking, and I'm jumping for a moment, okay, a few verses, and he's asking him, please read verse number 16, 15 and 16, sorry, 15 and 16.
15. Now the Lord God took the man, and he placed him in the Garden of Eden to work it and to guard it. 16. And the Lord God commanded man, saying, of every tree of the garden you may eat, you may freely eat.
Now, what is the meaning of eating? Eating is that I'm taking something, adjusting it, putting it in my body, right? It's becoming part of my body. And then all the, I'll say, rubbish is going outside, usually in the bathroom. And the main part that I need is becoming part of my body, right? This is eating. What exactly is the meaning of adjusting ideas? I'm learning something new. I'm adjusting it, and it's becoming part of me. What I disagree, I'm throwing to the bin, to the trash of my knowledge. I'm not using it. It's not becoming part of me. God is creating the whole world. Okay? It's not, when you're reading it in English and you don't understand the Hebrew correctly, you think that God created an apple tree. This tree, you want to eat it, very nice. This is not what it's saying. It's not what it's saying here, okay? God created all kinds of trees, trees, okay? He created a lot of ideas, a lot of things in this world. He created the world of mathematics. He created the world of physics. He created the world of the humanity. He created a lot of things. And he's starting to say to men, okay, all the kinds of things that I created, the whole world, part one of the trees, the tree that is the tree of life, the tree that it's defining between good and bad, good and evil, all those kinds of trees that I planted here, it's not trees, all those kind of ideas, you need to adjust them, you need to eat them, you need to learn them. This will bring you to the tree of life, to the way how to live your life, how to move the bad, the evil to one side, and to stick and to stay part of the good side. This is what God created in this Garden of Eden. Now, the Garden of Eden is up there in the heavens, okay? In our world, it's more or less the same. We need to understand what exactly is the tree of good and bad, and what exactly is the tree of life, okay? Those are two different things. But first of all, we need to understand what is happening here. God created this world. God created man, and he gave him the freedom of knowledge and the freedom to decide between good and bad. And he's asking him, from all the trees of this world, from all the wisdom of this world, learn it. From this, you will manage to knowledge me. How can we knowledge God? From learning this world. Learn it. You will manage to knowledge me. You will manage to stick with me, to become part with me, partnership with me. This is what I'm asking you to do. Be aware that there's also the tree of life, so we'll be able to become full partnership with God who is giving life to this world. And there's also the tree of good and bad, so you'll be able to do bad things. And you will be not really partnershiping with me, okay? But try to knowledge this world, and through this, to knowledge me. Through this, to get connected with me. Everything is clear till now? I will prove it to you for a moment, okay? In an interesting way. I'll show you how can we see that in an interesting way. If I'm opening the Maimonides, okay? I'm opening the Maimonides, and he wrote a very, 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 very big book. It's been called the Mishneh Torah. 1,000 chapters in this book. It starts from the Sefer Hamadan, the science book, the knowledge book, and it's finishing at the end of this, after 1,000 chapters, okay? It is finishing with the Sefer Shoftim, the judge books, the judge's book. The judge's book is finalizing with the Messiah to come. So let's see for a moment how it is opening this the knowledge, the book of knowledge, okay? How it is opening. So what happened here? Okay, here it is, Sefer Hamadan, okay? And we will start with chapter 1, very simple. Please read the first one, the first paragraph here, first part.
1. The foundation of all foundations and the pillar of wisdom is to know that there is a primary being who brought into being all existence. All the beings of the heavens, the earth, and what is between them came into existence only from the truth of his being.
So the first thing is what to do? To knowledge God. And he's explaining here how to knowledge God. Let's go to the last, this is the beginning, opening of everything. And then we have 1,000 chapters. And let's see for a moment what's happening at the end of this book in Melachim u'Milchamot. Okay, let's go to the last one, chapter 12. And let's read the last paragraph. Okay, you see, I'm running down. You see, here it is, finished, completed. Okay, so before we're completing this thing, let's read for a moment. The sages and the prophets did not yearn for the messianic era, in order to have dominion over the entire world. So what exactly they did wanted? They wanted something else. Let's read it. Please read number 4. In 5 is continuing it, but it's enough to read number 4, please.
Number 4, the sages and prophets did not yearn for the messianic era in order to have dominion over the entire world, to rule over the Gentiles, to be exalted by the nations, or to eat, drink, and celebrate. Rather, they desired to be free to involve themselves in Torah and wisdom without any pressure or disturbances, so that they would merit the world to come, as explained in Hilkot Teshuvah.
And continue on, please read verse number 5.
Number 5, in that era there will be neither famine or war, envy or competition, for good will flow in abundance, and all the delights will be freely available as dust. The occupation of the entire world will be solely to know God. Therefore, the Jews will be the great sages and know the hidden matters, grasping the knowledge of their Creator according to the full extent of human potential. As Isaiah 11:9 states, the world will be filled with the knowledge of God as the waters cover the ocean bed.
You see the knowledge of God twice here? You see that? This is the main thing. The main, I will say, aim of the world starts with the knowledge of God and finalizing after all the things that we had in this world with the knowledge of God. And this is what's written down here, okay, basically inside verse number 9, in a hidden way, okay? God created everything here in this world as a wisdom, as an idea, as a way of teaching us how to live, what to do, from knowledging God through this world. We have the trees of all over the world. The trees is the ideas and the knowledge and the wisdom and how exactly to understand this world. And there is also 2 other trees, okay? I'm going to surprise you. I'm not sure that it will be next time, or maybe it will be twice from now, okay? And I'm going to show you something very amazing about those 3 trees that you said here. But this is something that we'll have later on, okay? But first of all, we're starting to realize what's happening here. What we saw till now, okay, today, we saw that God created a protected place where there is no differentiation between the different parties that appears in our world. Today we have grapes and we have wine. It's not together. You can't have both of them together. But in the world, in the protected world, okay, that God gave us in His space that was before the world was here and will be at the end of the days of the world, of this world, this is a place where we will be in a combined place. Everything will be in one unity. And here in our world, God created everything, so we will be able to knowledge Him and to live in the right way, to understand and to live, to adjust things, just like we are eating and we are adjusting things and things are becoming part of us and the rubbish is going outside. The same thing also with the knowledge. By the way, how do we call in the book when we want to see at the beginning what exactly is going to appear in this book? We're calling it content, table of content, right? What is table? Where we eat. The content is what we eat. It's the same thing. Just we need to understand what we're saying. It's not, we can't be asleep when we're speaking. We need to realize what we're saying, even if we are already old people. Old, we are not young. I'll say it like that. Let's start to realize what we're saying. Why are we calling in each book when we have the table of content? So it's the same thing like, when I'm inviting you to eat with me and I'm showing you this is the content of what we're going to eat. The same thing with the book. The book is giving us ideas, and we have the table of content of the ideas of the book that is inside this book. The same thing, exactly the same. Okay, now we will be able to understand another very interesting thing. I won't go inside to this too much, but I'm going to show this for a moment, okay? There is a very interesting story about Abraham, okay? That he lived in the area of Hebron, okay? And he was okay. He was living in the area of Hebron. It's a very short verse. Please read verse. We're in just a moment. We're in chapter 21, and we're going to read verse number 33, please.
Verse 33. And he planted an Ishel in Beersheba, and he called there in the name of the Lord, the God of the world.
What is Ishel? Who knows? It's interesting. Yes, what about?
It's a tree.
It's a
tree.
It is a tree. It is a tree, but it's not only it's a tree, but it's also have each word here is also a beginning of another word. Okay, achila, shtiya, levaya, olina. What is achila, shtiya, lina? Achila. The first one is eating, drinking. Okay, the second word is drinking, and the last word is the beginning of the word sleeping, or mainly sleeping. Okay, so let's see Rashi for a moment, and let's see what exactly Abraham did there. After that, I will say this also from the Midrash. Okay, not everything is written down in Rashi here. Yeah, and Ashel. Please read those two. Okay, Ashel and he called the name of God. Please.
An Ishel, Hebrew, there is a dispute between Rab and Samuel. One says that it was an orchard from which to bring fruits for the guests at the meal, and one says that it was an inn for lodging, in which there are all sorts of fruits.
Okay. No. Just now jump to the other side, to this one, please.
And he called there, etc., by means of that Ishel, the name of the Holy One, blessed be he, was called God of the whole world. After they would eat and drink, he would say to them, Blessed the one of whose food you have eaten. Do you think that you have eaten of my food? You have eaten of the food of the one who spoke, and the world came into being.
Now, what exactly is the story here? The story in the Midrash, okay? He's saying that he's quoting that it's from the Midrash. It's from the Babylon Talmud and also the Midrash. The Midrash is saying that Abraham would have given them food for free. When they ate the food, at the end, they wanted to pay him. He said to them, you don't need to pay me. The only thing you need to do, you need to bless God. God who created this world. Okay? If we jump into chapter 1 and 2, God who created this world. Fair enough. So they said to him, we don't recognize this God. So he said to them, you know what? If you don't want to bless him, so give me money. Fair enough. So they said, how much money? And he asked from them a very large amount of money. So they said to him, no, it's too much. He said to them, no, but in the middle of the desert, you ate here very nicely. Give me something. So they said to him, so what else can we do? He said, you don't need to pay me. You can also bless God. Now, it's a very interesting, I will say, story. We're teaching this story to all of the young kids, okay, in the age of 5 and 6. And people don't understand. What our sages are trying to tell us is that if you really want to explain to someone that there is God who created this world, and he is giving us life, he's giving us the soul that we have, and this is how we have life, the main way of speaking about this or explaining this, or it's by having the experience. No man or woman can live in this world without eating from outside of him. Only when he is eating from outside of him, he is managing to live in this world. And this is the experience that we have to realize that we can't live unless we are holding, getting something from the outside of us. We are we have no way of being by ourselves without the outside of us. So it's not only play with the food that Abraham did here. It's a teaching that Abraham gave to the world to realize that we are all being, we need, I will say it like that, we need this something outside of us that will give us life. This is what Abraham is teaching through the food. And then he managed to discuss with him and everything else. And this is basically what we have also in this, in those verses, in chapter, what we saw now in chapter 2. Okay? When God is creating all the kinds of trees to basically what the verses are telling us, what is being written here, is that God created the world, and through the world, we're managing to adjust and to realize. Now, each one of us have different, I will say, different issues that are very interesting him. One is very interested with the science. Someone else is very interested with music. Someone else is very interested with the common, relationship with others. Someone else is very interested with being, I don't know, everyone have a different interest. And this is the main thing that I'm going to eat in my life. And what is not really part of me and it's not really interesting me, I'm going to reject. Someone else will eat it. But together we are managing to fill up this world with the knowledge of God and with the possibility of getting related with God. That is from everything. Okay, He created everything. He didn't create only the religious side. He didn't create only the holy things. He created everything in this world. So this is what those two verses are saying to us. Verse number 9, that God is taking out, from the ground every tree, all those 3 kinds of tree. We need to discuss about them. And that at the end, He's also asking him that the way of working and guarding it is also by eating from every tree. There are a few verses here inside, in the middle, that we won't be able to speak about them now, and we'll speak about them next time. It's about those 4, how do you say it? 4 heads of this flowed, rivers. There are 4 rivers that are going outside, and we need to understand what are those 4 rivers and what are they doing here. And this is part of the structure of the world, of our world today. But this is something that we will speak next week. Now is the time for questions, things that you want to ask, things that you want to say, whatever is on your mind, whatever it is, this is time for you. Yes, please. Yes, Bob.
Just a question that came into my mind. How does the world to come relate to Eden?
I will say it like that. Also, the Eden, the Garden of Eden, is something where in our world we see a lot of contradicted things. Things can't really live together one with each other. Fire and water can't live together. Grapes and wine can't live together, or grapes or wine. A lot of contradictions in this world. In the East, they're calling it yin and yang. Always there are 2 different things. In Garden of Eden, we are at the level where everything is united and everything can live together. This is something that we don't have in our world now. We can't see it in our world now, but in the world to come, we will see it. Where this is going to be? In the protected place where man is going to be there, and we'll be able to live in a space where everything is in harmony one with each other. Why do we need still a protected place? Because God, it's the similar thing that I can give for this idea. God is like the sun. Now the sun, when you're getting close too much to the sun, what is happening to the human being? It's getting burned, right? It's too much close. Nothing is going to change with God, also in the world to come. If we will appear in front of God with not any protection, we're going to vanish inside Him. Therefore, he must build up still something that will have a protection from him. So there will be a space, I will say. So it will be a world in a higher level where all the separations will vanish and it will be a united world, but it will still be protected from God, so we'll be able to live there. So the Garden of Eden is the world above this world, okay? The world where we don't have all the separations, but it still needs to be protected from God. So this is the Garden of Eden. We started from there and we'll go there also at the end of days. Okay, Yaakov, I'm sorry for the lateness. I had problems with the internet, but everything is fine now. Yes, I'm here. Yes.
Problem. I was late too.
Shh, don't tell it. Fair enough. Okay, everything is fine this week. Things that I've taught. Also, the last one, it's already on the internet. I need to write a few things and it will publish it. And also this one, I will publish it so we'll be able to look on this again. I know that things that I'm saying here, I'm saying them a bit fast and it's taking time to adjust. And you can, when you read it, you're listening to it again, it's much better. If you're asking me, the best is also to try to summarize it in typing, a bit with yourself. And if you will send it to me, I will fix it a bit, and then we will be able to. You will manage to eat it in a much better way. To eat the ideas, to adjust them in a much better way. To put in your life. Fair enough. So, yes, Brian, you want to ask something? If not, it's okay. I'm okay.
Oh, I am thinking of a question, but it's more to do with the end of chapter 2. So I might keep it, but just to clarify, because it'll relate later, that Eden as a place is a place of unity where there's no fragmentation. Things really are unified, as opposed to this world, which is, as you said, yin and yang. It's a mass of dualities. Everything's fragmented and in a lot of cases incohesive.
It's true. This is our world. Our world is not united. And one of the things that we do when we saying Shema Israel, okay, Hashem Eloheinu Hashem Echad. By the way, if we're looking on this verse, we see that the verse is saying Hashem Eloheinu. Again, those two words of God, those two names of God together. And it says that He is one. He is united. Okay.
Yeah.
He is not a Trinity. It's not all those nonsense. Okay. He's one. But when we say that as Jewish, okay, and we say this twice a day, we put the hand on our eyes. You know why? Because in our world, we can't see the unity. So we need to close the eyes to see the unity, to believe in the unity. Okay. It's very hard to see the unity of God here in this world. It's really hard. It's maybe even not really something that we can see in our world. One of my greatest rabbis, okay, he said all the time that it's like coin, okay? The coin have two sides. Now, you can't, to have a full coin, you need to have both sides, right?
Yep.
But you can't look on the two sides together. So it's one coin, but there are two different sides. Fair enough. This is in our world. In the world up there, okay, in the world where it's related with God, there is unity of everything. And this is what we see, or we learn, or we understand that there is in the Garden of Eden. This is what we're going towards. We're going to unite all the world together, and also to see that at the end of the days. Now we need to understand that we are on the path towards that, and to realize that here in this world, after all, we have the Hamas that we need to destroy, and we have the good side of the world. The question is, in what side you're getting related with, what side you take, okay, in our world. But yes, in this world, we still have good and bad. This is a tree of good and bad. But we'll speak about those trees.
One other quick question, Rabbi, which just comes to mind. Is Eden separate to this world, or is it another aspect of this world?
Since I'm very far from you, I'm not kissing you on your, on your head. Excellent question. Really excellent question. Our sages are saying in the ethics of the fathers, they're saying that the world to come, okay, is like the dining room, and this world is like the how do you call it? I forgot the name. The preparation room for the dining room. Okay, when you invite someone, so first of all, you speak in one with each other on the place where they're taking out the coats, taking out the boots, whatever it is. You're having some sort of a small mingling and speaking one with each other. And then you're all going to the dining room. But the first room is a preparation room for the other one, but it's all together in the same house. So
Yes.
it's the same thing, like I said before. It's two sides of the same coin.
The same coin.
Whatever you're preparing yourself here in this world, this is what you will get in the world to come. And whatever you won't prepare, you won't get. So it's not two different worlds. Again, we believe in unity, in the unity of God. So it's one world preparing to the other world. And it's the same world.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Fair enough. You know my email, you know my phone number, whatever it is. If you have any questions, hopefully next week, same time, same place. And I won't have any internet problems and any other, unexpected things. And we will continue, and I will upload those two. The first one is already uploaded, but I will upload also this one, and I will send it to you. So whatever you want to do, spit it out, whatever you want to do, learn it again, write it to yourself, send me the notes, and I will bring them to more exact points, whatever it is. Whatever is it, you mind? I'm not forcing anyone to do anything. You're more than blessed, So eat whatever you want to eat. Fair enough. Have a great week ahead. See you all.
Thanks, Rabbi.
Bye.
Bye,
Thanks,
everyone.
Rabbi.
Bye.
Bye.